insert generic YouTuber introduction. Because you all know that's coming. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Serena Jade. And I've been meaning to update sooner. But this year started off with a kind of a lousy bang. I lost my grandmother in January, and it's been really difficult. I've been dealing with a lot of family stuff and family drama, and just taking some time to mourn and just taking time to process it. But I'm feeling a lot better, so let's get to it. Oh God, we have serious things wrongs with us. Serious things wrongs with us. I cannot speak, and yet I'm doing this. What is my life? Okay, so today we've got a story of why you should never do this, ever. It's a greyhound story, and I don't understand how greyhounds are still around, flying. If you book the ticket out far enough, it is literally the same price as a greyhound. I found this out the hard way. Never again. I fly everywhere now. 24 hours on a bus is just not something I will ever do again. So I was up in Colorado because at the time I was still living down in Arizona. So my best friend and his wife, who's also my other best friend, my female best friend, they're military. My husband and I are also military. We're all military. Yay! And so my best friends got stationed up in Colorado. Obviously, I was very upset, I missed them. I spent most of my time around them, as much time I spent around with people, because, I don't like leaving my house. You have to pry me from my house, basically. So they come down to Phoenix Comic-Con, which is another story for a different time, because that's a funny story inside itself. So they come down for Phoenix Comic-Con, and they don't tell me about it. They show up, we do the convention, have fun and everything, and then we go back up to Colorado. 13 hours in a car, not my favorite thing to do. I hate doing it, because again, we'll fly everywhere. So I spent a month up here with them, and I didn't want to ask my husband for more money because I had just gotten done with a convention. So I thought, greyhounds are pretty cheap. I could save some money. No. So first sign of disaster was when they dropped me off at the Greyhound station in downtown Denver, and it was right after Colorado had legalized weed. And I got accosted by a guy standing outside. He kept asking me if I wanted to get high with him, and I don't smoke weed myself. That's just not something I do. I can go into it further later on. That's another story for a different time. So I tell everyone who offers me weed, no, I appreciate it. I don't personally smoke, but I will always vote to legalize it and to support people who do smoke weed because it's not a harmful substance. There's nothing wrong with weed. You're just going to get high and want to eat everything. You're going to get the munchies. What else are you going to do? And so that's basically what I always tell everyone. But this guy just didn't take the hint and just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, which always happens when I'm nice and out in public. One of the reasons why I hate leaving my house. Everything bad that ever happens to me is because I leave my house. Okay, that's not true, but that's how it feels. So finally I break down and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck off. Leave me the fuck alone. Get out of my face. And he's like, damn, baby doll, you don't have to be so rude. You don't have to be a bitch. And I'm like, I'm gonna walk away because you're just not worth my time, like, at all. So I get checked in, they take my bags, start heading down. My second sign that this was going to be a bad time and that I should just turn around or just have not gotten on the bus was there was this woman on the bus who had been coming from Kansas because she had gone to rehab but was pregnant and had checked herself out of rehab to go ambush her baby daddy because he was like cheating on her or something, and she wasn't going to tell him, and she's kept calling all these different people on her phone telling them that they better not tell her baby daddy that she was coming. I don't know, like, I was like, I don't think you should have left rehab. I feel like rehab would have been very beneficial for you, but that's not my place to say anything. We're not even into like the worst parts of it yet. So we get to New Mexico and we stop like a while away from Albuquerque. Like we were getting close to Albuquerque. And so I have this guy, I see him sitting there and I just walk up to him because, you know, this is what I do all the time, which is another reason why I get myself into trouble. I get myself into trouble quite a bit. Quite a bit. So I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And he just burst into tears and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Why are you crying? Please stop. Random person. And he told me that he had left his children for a female he only knew for like, I'm going to say 3 months because I don't want to like exaggerate it, but I feel like it was less than 3 months. Or he could have been with her for 3 months. And, like, it just didn't work out. I don't know. So, I just remember 3 months, okay? So, he had left his children for a random female he didn't know. And I'm thinking, this amount of time is not, like, accurate to get to know somebody. But okay, not ready to, like, judge your life choices when you're in an emotional situation, like a vulnerable situation. I'm a very judgy person, okay? Like we're not gonna hide that fact. I always side-eye and I always judge inside my head, but I never really say it to the person because it's just not my place to tell you this unless you ask me or if I feel like you're really going to fuck up your life. That's when I'll say something. Anywho, so he's like, yeah, you know, I deal drugs and like apparently my house got shot up and I don't know what type of situation I'm walking in and I just can't believe I left my kids. This girl made me feel so special. We would like laugh with each other and just act like stupid fools with each other and all this different stuff, and I'm thinking, how did you not see this was going to fail? Like, did we not see the warning signs? And then he started crying on my shoulder. And then the girl who ditched rehab came and sat down and started crying on this shoulder. So I had both of them crying on this shoulder. And I'm like, I'm too awkward to tell you guys to stop. Why me? So we get to Albuquerque, only to find out that our bus has issues. So instead of like a 2-hour wait, it turned into a 5-hour wait. So the girl who was checked out of rehab and quote unquote pregnant, I don't know if she was actually pregnant. Again, not my place, but still in my mind I'm like, judging you so hard right now because if you are pregnant, you need to stay in rehab. So, she's running around the place, like the Gray House station, completely half-dressed and just like cursing up a storm. And I'm just like, okay. Just avert eyes, don't make eye contact, because she kept trying to come up to me and talk to me, and I'm like, Uh-huh. Don't care. Just don't care. Stop talking to me. So, the security guard kept coming up to talk to me. And I'm thinking, I just want to vape in peace. Let me smoke in peace. I don't want to have to talk to you because you don't really have anything of substance to talk about with me. Like, the entire conversation was just boring. And the guy wasn't book smart, and I find it very hard for me to connect with somebody that is a complete stranger if they're not book smart or if they're not a nerd. Like, I have to have something for me to care about. But then I guess that's like everyone and the entire planet. So, get on the bus and it's full. And there's this guy who is sitting next to me, and at first he seemed pretty chill, and I was like, alright, cool. Somebody who's sane to talk to. Awesome. No. Like, just no. He was a trucker, apparently, and was going, doing long haul, and was going back to his family. And it started going downhill from there, and started kind of getting creepy. And then I decided to get out of the situation. I was going to try and sleep, because I hadn't slept for almost 24 hours. I suddenly felt him touching me, like poking me and trying to get me awake. So what did I do? I elbowed him really hard. And, at our next stop, I wake up and I'm like, I'm sorry, were you touching me? He was like, yeah, I was just trying to get your attention. I'm like, yeah, so don't do that next time, because, I will totally, elbow people, LOL, it's pretty bad. So, when somebody's sleeping, maybe not touch them. You got the point after that. Or I thought he did. So, we didn't get a lot of the rest stops that you're supposed to get. So, I'm incredibly uncomfortable. I'm hungry. I haven't slept. I have a guy who keeps trying to touch me. Why? Why did I think the Greyhound was a good idea? I guess it's leading to a good, story, I guess. So we kept passing by all of these beautiful gas stations and food places in which we could stop and I could eat. And then when we finally get to stop at one, I had time to go to the bathroom, but I didn't have time to eat. So it was either go to the bathroom or get something to eat. My bladder demanded that I go to the bathroom. I was like, yes, queen. We shall obey the bladder. So, our bus driver was the saving grace of the entire ride, because he was just really funny, and I can't remember where he was from, but he was giving me crap about being from Arizona. And I was just dishing it right back to him, and he just, for somebody who didn't grow up in Arizona, he had a lot of factoids about the types of plants. And we were trying to educate somebody on, the wildlife and everything inside of Arizona, because they just didn't understand that what she was saying was just the plant life. And then the drug addict, pregnant lady, I never thought I'd say that, was in the back trying to butt into the entire conversation, and the bus driver and I were just not having any of it. So we weren't acknowledging her, and she just kept trying to... I got something stuck in my eye. Are you gonna obey? Huh? Don't ever buy Rimmel gel eyeliner. It is the worst stuff ever. I regret buying it. I have this thing where I refuse to spend more than $10 on eyeliner because I do gigantic cat wings and I go through so much of it, knits. That's what you want to go for. So, getting back on track. We finally start we reach Flagstaff, and somebody just takes the worst dump on board ever. And I wanted to die. And you can't open up the windows. No, you can't open up the windows, like, at all. So that was the worst thing ever. So we get to Flagstaff, I get off, bus driver guy is like following me around, so I call one of my friends. I'm like, save me right now, pretend to be talking on the phone with me. And she's like, Serena, we are talking on the phone. I'm like, excellent, we already reached one part of it. So, get back on the bus. Hours go by, I put my headphones in and just ignore the world, talk more with the bus driver, those things. And we finally get to Phoenix. Mind you, I had been on the bus for like 23 hours, and my husband was like, are you okay? Like, where are you? Why is it taking so long for you to get home? And I'm just like, baby, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be on the bus. I should have just flown. I checked. I compared the flights for that day with Southwest Airlines, which, by the way, best airlines ever, to Greyhound. It was the same price of a ticket for a Greyhound. Same price. Same price. So, we get there, and the guy who had been touching me and started, the guy who had just been touching me, not had just been touching, but who had touched me, was like, when you get off, come say goodbye. And it just had, the creepiest vibe from that entire situation. I didn't like it. It was just, No, I was, thinking, you're going to kill me and wear my skin later. So, I grab my stuff and I literally run to my husband's car and I start knocking frantically. I'm like, open up the door, open it up. And he's like, babe, what's wrong? I'm like, creepy guy, 9 o'clock, trying to get my phone number to talk to me later on. Let's go! And then he brought me in and out, and I get to go home and, be a pretty princess inside the bathtub where I spend most of my life. So yeah, that is my Greyhound story, aka why I'll never do it again. I understand that some people have to do a Greyhound, but I just don't. With how competitive airlines can be at times, and how you can get cheaper air rates depending on the time of day or night that you go and look at it, I just don't see the need for anyone to take Greyhound ever again, just because it is the worst thing ever. I'm sorry, I don't see the need for Greyhound. I legitimately don't. What is the point of Greyhound other than to cause me turmoil in my soul? Alright, we're going to insert generic YouTube thing now if you made it to the end of this video. Congratulations. My name is Serena Jade. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe one day I won't be as generic as everyone else. But who knows if that day will ever come. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.